Hi Libra, welcome to your Mars and Leo reading. Oh yeah, they expected you to fall. They expected you to not be able to handle the opportunity. They didn't expect you to grow through it. They just expected you to be who you've been. And now they all see how you're not afraid of loss. Obviously, it's not what you wanted. But your bounce back is always quick and complete. So sure, on paper, there's something that you've lost possession of. But it's really, yeah, the moon, right? Emotionally. But there's something you're able to do in your mind. It may have to do with realizing that the win is being able to plug into your community in a way that you've wanted to be able to do for a long time, or for whatever reason you've been blocked off from your ability to plug in, and that blockage is finally removed because something has been lost or released. Does it completely remove any negative feeling? No, it actually guarantees a lot of negative feeling, a lot of deceptive energies and temperamental moments. But the blessing is you have a highly increased ability to manage and deal with it all. Mars and Leo. You're not worrying and stressing and upset. You actually feel really strong, really confident. And again, even though there's something that has been obviously lost, you can finally rest. You know, it's like that thing that it's like, oh, I'm not sure if this is the right decision, I'm not sure if I can handle this, I'm just not sure. And obviously you want to choose the thing that feels the most enticing, right? You want the right way to be that sweet thing that appeals to some part of you. And you are getting some aspects of that in a lot of ways, right? This is really good energy. But in some ways, there's a sweet thing that you wanted that you're realizing was not the right answer. And being able to accept that wasn't easy. And maybe some of you are still in the process of accepting it, but for a lot of you, you have accepted, and you feel really content with the fact that you are no longer wavering and you've made a decision. You feel like you can finally relax. Finally. Finally. Mars in Leo is granting you the fulfillment of a lot of your wishes and desires, and your mind can see this clearly. And even that can feel like a loss, because sometimes when you want something and you work towards something and you spend years, weeks, months, decades, your lifetime working to get to a place in your life, you have this belief that that thing is going to bring you a sense of fulfillment and joy. It's going to give you this winning feeling, and you're going to feel that every day, and your life is just going to be perfect, right? That's what usually happens when you want something. You're like, okay, if I get to this place in my life, if I do this thing, I've really won, and it's gonna make my life so much better. But I think what you're realizing is something super healthy and not abnormal at all. You're realizing that getting that thing that you really wanted is not necessarily going to make you happy every day. It kind of just neutralizes your energy to a space where you stop chasing, you can stop chasing, and you just get to exist. The success, the peace of mind, the confidence in what you're doing. So then again, that can feel really confusing. That in and of itself can be something that you have to process during this time, and that you should process during this time and not avoid it, because it is affecting how you feel day to day, because you're subconsciously looking for this feeling that you may not get, or it may not be a consistent feeling. And that doesn't mean that your life isn't amazing. It doesn't mean that you haven't done amazing things. It doesn't mean that you won't be happy. It just is the illusion that we carry when we visualize something and we want for something. There's always that opportunity to manifest this very spiritual energy. 12th house energy here. Come on, please. But that manifestation usually carries some element of illusion to it. Some egoic belief that is healthy again. It's healthy for you to get to that place of facing reality, It feels like a flat line, because it's like, oh, I'm gonna walk down the street just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, you imagine floating off on a red car, on a magical, magic carpet. But no, you're just going to keep living. And that's exactly what this time wants you to do. It wants you to keep living, and on top of that, it wants you to put those realizations into perspective. So now as you manifest further, you're not manifesting from this fantastical space. You are very grounded in what you want, and honestly more practical. You become more earthy, especially as we move into next year. You become much more earthy in your desires, less, less emotional, again, less prideful and egoic in what you want to achieve, and more practical. You want to feel good in your body, you want to have good experiences, you want to have a full and healthy bank account, and you're capable of doing all of those things. And that's a lot of what you start to wish for, and it's a perfect transition within your energy, because it's okay for your mind to first need to align to who you have wanted to be. And now that you've done that mental alignment, you can prepare to shift into the physical alignment. So, it's okay. Let pieces come together as they are supposed to. Don't rush through the process, even though it may be frustrating at moments, even though it doesn't feel like everything is in place, right, perfectly. That's okay, because you have an opportunity to work towards something else, something new. Or else, what else would you do? Right? So all in all, Mars and Leo is some form of loss propelling you into a more concrete level of awareness about what you want out of your life. It's a great opportunity. Let's talk about Venus entering Capricorn on November 11th, because you need to get ready, honestly. That part of you that feels like you have to be the one to put things in place in this perfect way. Venus in Capricorn, yes, it's very earthy and practical, earth energy, doer energy, discipline energy. But this is going to be less about, that kind of aggressive part of you that can come out when you really want something. Venus in Capricorn for you is truly about receiving the opportunity. And letting it really come to you. There's a part of you that is very external over the next year, and that is a gift, to be able to come back from anything, right? The optimist. Very brave. But Venus in Capricorn wants to take a lot of that pressure off of you. The Magician and the Page of Wands is opportunities coming to you, and if we're being honest, there's probably multiple opportunities sitting in your inbox, sitting in your back pocket that you just haven't responded to yet. And that's okay, because I think you're looking for a big opportunity. I think you're looking for the opportunity that says, this is the one, this is it, this is the way forward. And that is a smart way to go. And it will help you to go out into the world and expose yourself to other environments, other scenarios where this opportunity could find you, Get out into the world. go connect. It's super, super easy under Venus and Capricorn to bump into people that are a match to what you're trying to create or where you're trying to go, the new job that you want, the new creative or entrepreneurial collaboration that would just fit perfectly. I promise you, there are many of you where this is literally in your back pocket. You already have access to these people. You just need to tap in. And maybe you just don't feel like it right now because you're processing a loss, because it's Scorpio season and everyone's just emotionally exhausted. Totally fine. And again, everybody might not be the nicest. In fact, people are really mean right now. So very smart to not jump into things until it feels right. And when Venus enters Capricorn on November 11th, it feels right. It's time to build. You have a great new idea. Again, what you've been wanting and what you've been working toward has just the right backing and just the right, collaborative power. And again, these people are in your back pocket already. On top of that, the other reason why it's been really smart to wait is because you haven't been in a position of true power, and everyone who you interact with or have interacted with has known that. And so it wouldn't have been smart to ask for anything prior to getting to that place, getting to this position of power and authority. But also there's a part of you that's like, there's a desperation that can come off of anyone, but especially Libras, because you can just strike up a relationship with anybody and move things forward. But sometimes there's a desperation to you that pushes people away and makes them not want to really relate to you, because you're trying too hard to relate to them. They can feel it, and it's like, oh, please stop. And it's like, it sucks because you hate coming across that way, but especially with Jupiter in your 9th house, it's just so easy to overdo things. And so you have been overdoing things in some senses and pushing some opportunities away from you because you want them so badly. But when Venus enters Capricorn, you're like, why am I wanting for anyone outside of myself? I love myself. I'm happy within myself. I'm successful within myself. Anyone who I decide to connect with, collaborate with, is just going to add to that vibe. So why do I feel like I need to prove anything to them? I don't at all. I have a lot to offer, and anyone that I connect with, I'm sure they have a lot to offer. And if they're not interested, that's no reflection on me. They're just not interested. That has nothing to do with me. We're just not in alignment. It's fine. So Venus in Capricorn is a very, very powerful transit for you to get things going, get things moving, and from a place that really protects you. Because when people know that you're reaching and you're kind of doing too much, it really makes people abuse you very badly. Or it makes it really hard for you to see that this person has really bad intentions for you. So remember to approach these things as if you are at the highest level, which means you would approach them with a contract, you would approach them with a clear plan, and they would have to sign, and that's how this moves. You're no longer in the space where you're looking for friends and you're looking for, those pleasantries that make up for the, payment that you deserve. It doesn't make up for the payment. These are business endeavors. This is not about play. Hold space in your life for play. But this is now business, and you don't have to feel bad about having that awareness and ability to collaborate in your personal life on a business level, or your entrepreneurial life, or even, some of this is also applying to your traditional career. There's been a part of you that's felt bad about playing the role that is right, the way that the role that you have to play for things to go the way that they need to go. You've been kind of scared. Maybe you would come across as too mean, maybe, and now you're realizing it's the energy that is literally needed in order for people to meet you, because they can see this version of you that you just won't accept because you want them to be your friend, and that's not business. Let the business come to light, and then within that, the friendships naturally develop. It's okay to have financial desires. It's okay to have power desires. It's okay to want to reach a certain level within your life, and the right business partners will be attracted to that heat within you. So Venus and Capricorn, super, super good for business collaborations, but it's beautiful because it feels like, this was always a part of your path. It feels like you were being prepared for these moments, these interactions, these, collaborations, opportunities. It's really sweet. On November 15th, Saturn retrograde ends in your 6th house. So, success right now is a lot of work, and be honest, you haven't felt like doing this. It's just been too much, especially while Saturn has been retrograde. It's been too much, and on top of that, it's been confusing. You know what I mean? All of this feeling, and it's just been so exhausting. But not that the work is done, because there's still more work that needs to be done, but it gets easier. It gets easier to do this insane amount of work, and you've strengthened an emotional muscle within you that Saturn just needed to teach you. You needed to strengthen, you needed to understand the spectrum of emotions that you can access to get work done and to, drive things forward, and also the emotions that keep you from taking care of yourself and taking care of your personal life and things that need to get done within your personal life. And so Saturn has been testing you and challenging you and pushing you and showing you what it looks like when you really are not sorting through your emotions in a way that's healthy, and how that guides your life. And then it showed you the moments when you do, and it's like, okay, you see. So as Saturn goes direct on November 15th, this feels like the completion of those lessons of emotional discipline that, again, can stand in the way of your health, of your productivity, of your, what's the word? It's the humility that keeps things, that keeps love, keeps work opportunities, keeps friendships, all of that. So you've still got about a week of, that testing going through, but once Saturn goes direct, you've got it. And, it's really good for love, because you humble yourself in a way that makes space for someone, makes space for a lot of people if you want it. And there are a lot of people, but there is a part of you in your 6th house that makes you feel like you want to be away from it all, because people are just getting on your nerves. They're too critical. They're annoying right now. And that's just what it is. They are getting on your last nerves. They're saying everything wrong. Everything they say and everything they do is just wrong. The energy feels wrong. The actions are wrong. It just sucks. But when Saturn goes direct, you get it. It all rolls off your back. You know what I mean? You even start to play and speak with this You turn it all over versus letting it all fall on you. When Saturn goes direct, you flip things back in your favor. Don't run from any opportunities right now. Wait for Saturn to go direct, because you might just need to have some conversations with people that shows them that you're not as ditzy as they think you are. It'll help a lot. On the 15th, we also have a full moon in Taurus, which for you is a time where you have to let a lot go, and you actually feel the losses, and you realize that the work that you need to do is deeper than just something physical. It's something rooted within your own self-worth, but it's a conversation that you haven't been able to have with yourself, or even if you have, it's not working. And so some situation comes about to really get you to this place where you just don't care anymore. Not because you don't actually care about anything, but because you realize that caring too much is literally keeping you from being able to work and approach things in a way that actually gets you to where you want. So yeah, you have to, it's almost like the fun of what you've been doing gets zapped. But that was never what you really wanted anyway. It was just what you thought you wanted. On top of that, there are some things that fall through that you really weren't expecting, especially within a work environment or within a relational environment, and you shouldn't react to it. You should understand that this is just a moment of loss, and there's a lesson in that, and you're not attached to it at all. It just is what it is. It definitely won't feel the best, but it is what it is, and you will keep moving forward in the very Taurus way of building whatever needs to be built, whatever needs to be resolved to get to the next point and moment. When Pluto enters Aquarius on November 19th, you get to take a really sweet look at how good life has gotten. And when you take that sweet look, it's going to be really motivating to build, and it's going to be fun to build something that's important to you. And maybe that's multiple things in multiple different arenas. But it is about the way that you want to shine and all of the things that you've been learning about what makes you feel good and makes you want to do something. It's all about that. It's all about what you want to do. And there will be things that come up where you'll see, I don't want that at all, actually. And it's gonna be, wow, I didn't even realize. I literally don't even care about the attention that I get from this thing. It's just been holding me back. This is what I actually want, which is likely has a lot to do with freedom and having a really good time and being as creative as possible. It's really amazing. Could be traveling with a Leo, could be traveling with your friends, or traveling with a romantic partner. That's all you really wanted. Then Sagittarius season kicks off on November 21st, and it's time to get sassy, and you are here for all of the sass. You don't care. It is time to vibe. It's been a long year and it's finally time to vibe, and you deserve all of these vibes and have a great time with it. We'll talk more about Sagittarius season later this month. I love you so much. Take care of yourself. Lots of really grounded changes coming that you need and that you can handle. Remember that. See you soon. Love you, Libra.